So that is another important thing. Data science, and then in many places again, web development. If you see these days, Python is used for doing this web development. I hope all this is clear for all of you team. And then what else we can, where else we can use this automation means, let me just quickly use Notepad to give a few more insights actually. Now you know these things, right? Where Python is used means simple. It is used in automation, and then second thing is we can use Python with data science, and then also use this for web development. And where else we can use? It can you be used in various other places as well, like AWS, okay, and also for many other things like that. Uh, okay. So is that clear to all of you, team? So why you should learn Python means it's booming and it has a lot of it more than the popularity, all that it has purpose, it has usage. Just keep in mind, team. Okay. So that's about this one. Next one, coming to the Python features. So what are those Python features? Why you should learn Python? I don't go too deep into this because anyhow these are few things. I don't want to bore you with all this stuff. Okay, I just only just give you important features of Python. Okay, so first thing is when you talk about Python, what is that you remember, team? It's a scripting language. We call it as a, what shall I say, scripting. Python is a scripting language, and also scripting and object oriented programming. So this is one thing. So we can say this is an object oriented as well as a scripting. This is one thing. Second thing is it's an open source. Already we have discussed. Open source means it's something which is free of cost. That's called open source. And the third thing is so it supports multi-paradigm. So what is this multi-paradigm means? This can be implemented as functional programming as well as object-oriented programming. It has two flavors actually. Maybe if you ask me a question, what is that question? Simple. What kind of approach you are following in your day-to-day work? Generally, for us automation, we are using more of a functional, style actually. Because why functional style? Because that's what we need for our automation purpose. Suppose if there is a development team, the development Python development teams mostly they use this object oriented programming. Means we have two kinds of things here: functional and OOP. So functional means we don't need any kind of objects here. It's more like what shall we say? We use more of functions here. That's called functional programming. Okay. Mm. And second thing is another one is object oriented programming. Object oriented means I'm just giving you a quick overview. I'm not going too deep into all this stuff. Okay. Anyhow, we talk more on this in the coming sessions. Is that clear, team? Uh, so functional means something which uses more of functions here. Again, if you ask me what is that function and why do we need functions, I'll talk about it. Okay. We are going to talk about everything in detail. It's not like we just stick to that. Okay. And second thing, object oriented means it has something objects and classes. So, and again, if you are coming with questions, we'll discuss this. Just remember like this, so that in the coming sessions, we'll talk more on both functions as well as OOP. Okay, and we do implement use cases. I hope this is clear for all of you, right? And there are see, people talk about many other things, but for me, these are very important. And one more important thing about Python is it is dynamically typed actually. So dynamically typed means like other languages, you don't need data types in Python. So when you give the value, automatically it recognizes that data type. So you don't need to use much of data types in Python. Something which is not which is simple and easy for everyone. Got it right? It's dynamically typed. What we call that's called dynamically typed. So no data types. And when you just declare data, automatically it recognizes data type. That's called dynamically typed. And what is the good thing about Python? Because many of you are here. You might have many questions running here. Should I? Is it simple? Is it difficult? Or something like that? And if you are asking this question, I can simply say that anyone who just want to step into programming world, Python is also a good start actually. But the difference is Python is much more simpler compared to all other different programming languages like Java or like any other. If you just do comparative to C or CPP, Python is a very simple thing. You got it right. And also syntax wise, it's so simple. It's not something confusing or something intriguing, but it's so simple for us. Okay. I think we have people keep on coming. Uh, Let me just, sorry for the disturbance. Mm. So that's it. These are all very important features of Python. I hope you are clear with this, right? Maybe in the middle, if you want, I can ask questions because this is a little going to be a little lengthy session, maybe from, if not this week, from next week onwards. So that, what shall we say? I just keep asking questions in the middle. I don't know if you have access to, what shall I say? Let me check. Messaging, actually. Can you type here? Let me just type. If you are able to, I yeah, I can keep asking questions. Maybe you can answer here. Okay. And also, please don't unmute because again it becomes difficult for me to continue the flow. But I keep asking random questions so that you can keep answering in the chat box. So in that way, what happens is it becomes more interactive. And if any questions were there related to this session, we will keep it for the end of this session. Okay. And you don't need to have any doubts on the your learning because definitely we are going to have a very clear picture and anyone with any kind of level of knowledge with Python can learn this. Suppose you are a beginner. If you ask me a question, I am a beginner. Can I start with in your session? Means yeah, my answer is yes. You don't need to have any programming knowledge. Only thing is you have if you have that interest to learn, then that is more than enough. I'll take care of rest of the things. And I just tell to any one of you, just give me 2 months and you see the difference. That's all. Maybe when you say something as free, don't think like we are not serious about anything. Because my only thing is I want whoever is learning this Python, you should be able to apply it and you should be having that confidence at the end of these sessions. Okay. By the time you at least finish a couple of sessions, you should feel that difference when you start learning Python. That's what we are doing. Because I do support in multiple ways for the learning of Python or not only Python for these kind of training programs, not only to this platform, even while in work environment, we have a community and I do support that community in our office as well. Usually we do once in a while. I'm just giving you a heads up just to make you clear that if you ask me a question, I don't know anything about Python or testing. Should I start here? Yes, definitely. Only thing is you need to attend classes regularly and just follow exercises what I'm asking to do and assessments what I'm asking to do. And you have a lot of support actually. So this is what I would like to tell to all of you because there are many people who are supporting this to bring this to all of us. It's not just me, because there are many other my friends and my co-workers who are helping me to build a better platform and innovative learning approaches. Of course, right now we didn't start it yet, but we are building that. That's what my vision is now. So for that, I have my friend Vishnu, okay, helping me on developing, building this good website, and then my friend Satish is there, who is helping me with all these different tools which we have in the learning process. Also, another friend Pradeep, who is helping me with some other thing. Like that, there are many volunteers here to do this program. Okay, it's not just we are just doing it. Just one person doing all that. No, we have team of people who know they are voluntarily supporting me, and that's why I'm able to come up with this program for all of us. And also equally passionate. It's not like, suppose if you just come here, it's not like what shall we say, a kind of throwing something or selling something here. It's not about that. It's about making difference to all of you and to your time as well. That's what we think, as a team. And many of my friends are very much confident in me when if I'm teaching something. So we need difference. Somebody is asking about recording videos. See, you will be given everything. So again, no need to. I try to support you as much as possible. Maybe the only the ask for you is, please keep joining sessions and just keep attending. I know when it is free means generally the serious levels will be very little less, but it's fine. But what I say is, you have something really, we here we have, you have someone who has with vast experience in training, as well as who has good experience with software. So I have been into multiple technologies. It's not just Python. I had started with Java. I had been into big data. I'm into Python. I'm into DevOps. Even coming to the training programs, I just did started with teaching C and C++. That itself shows that I came with so much of experience. So that I just want to share to all of you. That would be helpful. Got it, right? I'm just giving you this. This is a confidence building thing. What I'm trying to tell to you, right? So I'm moving to the coming back to this, Python again. So what are these Python features here? I had already discussed. I think you are clear with this. It's a scripting and all this. Maybe you can quickly answer my questions now. We just had a 20-minute session probably. So in this, I just had discussed few important things. Maybe the question which I would like to ask you now is, anyhow, some of these important things are there here in front of in the notepad. So first thing is, maybe this question should be good for all of us. What is automation, and why do we need automation? Because I had discussed this, I would like to know, because that itself is a quick idea. As you are able to chart with me, can you quickly answer this question? Because we had a 20-minute discussion on the session. So can you give me your answers in the chat box? That's how we do. What is automation? And why do we need automation? Two questions. Because Python does automation. I just want this to be interactive. I don't want you to be hearing my continuous talk, okay? Because it's boring. I know that. So what is automation? Why do we need automation? I just had a quick discussion on this. Okay, in this way, you feel engaged and also you keep learning. So I think we have many of you. Your participation makes us makes the session more interesting, friends. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, I think some of you have answered. Others, please try to be here and try to answer this question. Yeah, and please just try to understand from this. Of course, there is Googling as well. So don't try to Google. You are not on. You don't have anything on your this thing. Okay. So we don't have any pressure here. We are not doing any exams. Just try to understand the session and try to give the answers.
To reduce the manual effort, sir.
Yeah, just please type in the chat box. That help me to capture all your answers.
Yeah, sure.
Right? Okay. Let's get into the discussion now. Thanks for your answers. I think many of you have answered it. Good. So what is this answer? Is simple. Automation is used to reduce the process time and less manpower. Yes. So that's what automation means. Simply speaking, it reduces human effort in one word. Second thing, why do we need automation? It will drastically bring the amount of time we spend on some task. That is very important these days because nowadays, if you see everywhere, there is a word we are using what we innovation, and automation is one of the foundation for innovation. Just keep this in mind. Okay. So I hope you are clear with this, all of you, right? I'm just moving to the another thing. And what is that here is now coming to the stats of Python. This is where we just this is called no, the statistics actually. And if you see, still Java is still in the top this thing. And now again C has next place and Python. Python is the third most happening programming language. And then all other things. This is the actually the uh, ratings of this programming languages team here. And maybe there is a competition. People ask, like, see, for selling purpose, people come up with many things. But every programming language has its importance. So Java has its importance, Python has its importance, C has its importance, C++ has its importance. And maybe if you ask me, why should I learn Python? Why not Java? Means, see, my point is simple. Because I don't want to make it. I don't want to sell anything here. If you are able to learn one language properly, means you are able to do all other languages more or less in the same level. See, maybe Python is simple, and we have a lot of community support, or where a lot of libraries were there, but still logic is same. At the end of the day, the way you implement coding needs logic again. So that part doesn't change. But what changes is the number of lines of code again. Maybe just let me add few more things just to Python features. What is that is it's simple again, because as we are talking about Python features, one more important thing about Python is that it's simple. That is one thing. And second thing is, compared to other languages, what is the benefit we have is less lines of code. This is very important. So what is that? If you ask me about Python, like suppose if you write some 20 lines in Java or some 50 lines in Java, the same thing you can complete it in 10 lines in Python. So what is the difference? See, we are not reducing number of lines of code, but we are simplifying it with libraries, because in the library somebody will write a similar a code inside that. Okay. But for us at developer level, we have less lines of code. These things make us this will make more happy for us. When we say less lines, everybody is very happy. Why? That's what, right? We don't want to spend more time on something. That's how human thinks, right? So that's the greatest advantage we have with Python. We don't need to write more lines. So I believe this makes most of you happy, right? Yes, sir. Let me admit few people. Second thing is dynamically typed means no data types. Again, just keep in mind. We'll talk about it. I'll just show you in next coming few minutes. These were all again few important things you need to just keep in mind, team. Okay. Now I'm moving to the next slide. This is about a Toby index, what we call. Uh, and you can see where Python is standing right now. It is at the third most popular programming language. But still, many people are after Python these days. And if you ask me, yes, definitely learn this, because more than anything, Python is having a lot of demand. Because the again, I told this point, this statement, I believe the whole lobby where I sit is Python lobby. Of course, I am not a Python developer, but I am a DevOps engineer. So again, if you ask me, if you are a DevOps engineer, how do you qualify to teach Python? Means every day without Python, there is no day for me. Okay, I have to do automations every day. Okay, so in that way, you know, Python is a good friend of mine. Got it? Now let's see the difference between Java and Python. Okay. How many of you likes Java? Maybe you have multiple things in the chart. I mean, this thing, team. What is that? If I have a task which is repeated continuously, this is about okay. Now let's talk about this. Let's have a little fun here. So, how many of you have heard about Java team, friends? This is about Java, simple Java code. I'm just going to show you. So, and I'm going to show you Python code. And those who are new and those who don't like programming or those who have fear of programming, after seeing this, you will immediately fall in love with Python. This is my simple statement. Of course, if you go to some training institutes, the famous say is 100 lines of Java is we can just do it in 5 to 6 lines in Python. But I don't believe that happens. That much of difference will be there, but there will be a substantial difference. That's all. Not that huge difference. 100 lines cannot become 5 to 6 lines in Python. That is one more thing. But definitely it's simple. Now we are just seeing the comparison of programming size between the Java and the Python. After seeing this, definitely I believe you will like Python. Got it right? So now you don't need to understand anything here. If you are going to ask me, so I don't know Java, I don't know Python, you are showing something, then how do I understand? Okay. Then my answer is you don't need to understand anything, just observe the discussion. That's all. So now what shall I do now? I am using Eclipse. Let me open Eclipse just to show you a simple Java program. Already this is Java program, but I would like to show you with the example, a live example here. Let me open Eclipse just to show you this a real how it works. What happened with this? Okay, no problem. Let me change the location. That will work. So meanwhile, I'll ask one more question to all of you. I believe you can answer this. Okay. So the question is, could you tell few good features of Python? Because I don't want to keep you waiting until this starts. You can answer in the chat box again. Core Java, I know, sir. Yes. If you know Core Java, it's good, right? Then you know Python also. Somebody is saying Shiva Ajay. If you know Core Java, then you know Python also. You know C, you know C, C++, everything. Because see, the everything came from C only. All this follows a C syntaxes. Little bit here and there, little changes. That's all. Even the concept of OOP is same everywhere. Okay, it's not. Okay, now let's talk about features of. Somebody is asking about platform dependent and independent. See, Python is again. See, again, this is also platform independent. It's not dependent. Okay, like Java, we can run Python in multiple platforms. Maybe if you are asking about that bytecode thing, I don't think we have bytecode concept in Python. I'm just talking about your language independency. Somebody is asking, Kishore V is asking me a question. Python is platform dependent. Yeah, In that way, it's correct because Python is an interpreted language, right? Maybe I didn't use this thing, this statement. I'll talk about it again. Yes, we don't have this. See, one thing about Python again. Let me just talk about this because this discussion came in. The difference between Java and Python is, let me just see if this started. Yeah, we have already Eclipse here. See, team, can you see this is a simple Java code? Okay, I just switched my discussion. I know we'll go back there, and I'll talk about a few important things as well. And if you see, just to do a hello world, you need one class in Java and one main method in Java, and then you need a print statement. In that way, you need all this many, all this background if you want to just do a simple hello world program. Okay, but the same thing. Suppose if you want to just do it in Python, let me just show you. This is erroring out because I just used some other name earlier, some or something. Maybe let's just quickly run this if you want. I can run this for you. Run as Java application. I'm just showing you this is a simple Java program, and the one which I'm using is called Eclipse. And you can see hello world here. And if this is the size of Java, and do you want to see the size of Python? Let me just show you. Your Python program is this, that's all. Just a print. You don't need to understand anything here. Excuse me. So this is actually Python idle. And I'm just doing printing the same hello world. And you see the difference between Python Java program and Python program. Here we just had one line. If you want to run this, let me run and show you. We have hello world again here. Now the question is, when you compare these two, now I mean, you don't need to have knowledge to programming knowledge to answer this question. Which is having less lines of code team? Again, a question to you. What is that? Now we just seen two programs, two language programs. One is Java program and Python program. So which have less lines of code? It's question. Answer is Java or Python. Just you can type in the chat box now. And please be interactive, friends, because this is important for all of us. Let's make it more useful for everyone. And if you are not interested, better no sleep for more time. This is my humble request. But if you are here, let's learn it and let's use your time and my time both. Can I ask a question to all of you? Again, one more question. Why less lines in Python? You all of you gave me quick good answer. Python, yes. Okay. Why less lines? Why not more lines in Python? I just told that okay, it has less lines. Everybody says that it has less lines, and just you know what shall we say, lure you into this Python. But why less lines? Yeah, somebody gave very good answer actually. Okay, very good answers. Loose couple doesn't apply here immediately, but you bought in a very good feature of OOP, Adish Pradhan. Okay, loosely coupled. That is there in Spring framework. I hope you bought in altogether a Spring framework into this. What shall we say? Python. Of course, still we can apply this here also in Python. Okay. Yes. See, one thing is why less lines of code means this is not different from other languages. All these are brainchilds of C programming only. Or some before some C, something else will be there from there. That's all. The only difference is libraries. Yes, somebody, very important thing is libraries. Do you know Python has at least 80 to 90,000 of 80,000 of libraries for different technologies. I think I was about to tell this, but I missed this in the features. What is the strength of Python? Its libraries. Got it right? Means this has For everything, you have a library. You want to do an automation, it gives you some library. For AWS, it supports library. And similarly for data science, it gives many libraries. So in that way, what happens is we have libraries and Python gives that. Okay, that's why this library, as you are using these libraries more and more, and this line we have less lines of code. That's why we have less lines of code is one thing. Second thing, it's actually the syntax style and the way it's coded is also simple. Okay, I hope you have more answers now. Few people, what is library? Yeah, that is we'll talk about it again. Library means you have all. It's a quick question. I'll answer in a simple way because if we just get into this discussion, we cannot move forward. But let me quickly tell you what is library means. It has a collection of, simply speaking, built-in collection of, what shall I say? Built-in means somebody will be already adding all this to that. Your job is just you need to know what to use and how to use it. That's all. You don't need to write a code again from the scratch for this. Library is nothing but collection of functions or classes inside that. So this has built-in functions or classes, and you can reuse them wherever and whenever you need that. That's what library is. Again, you might might ask me a question again. What is function? What is class? Okay, just don't get into that level now because we just started. This is an introduction. So if you just keep asking these questions, then tomorrow everybody gets confused. So let's not do that. But just remember, so libraries is something which is having built-in functions and classes which are ready. It's like a pop box in your home, okay, in your kitchen. What is that? All that ingredients are there with you. You just need to use it when you are cooking a curry, something like that. Okay, that's it, team. So shall we now? I would like to ask one more question because more than learning, what I need is more than me talking more. Your brain functioning is more important for me. Okay. So next one. Now tell me three good features of Python. Somebody told about libraries, about less lines of code. Three good features of Python so far on what I have discussed. So this is another quick question to all of you. So three good features. Don't think this guy keep us here only in features. Will he not move forward? Means definitely. When it comes to the programming, you have more, you know, practice oriented sessions, so more practical sessions. So just make sure your laptop everything is good with you, and don't try to just use mobiles to join these sessions. I request you to join from laptop and just start doing it. Okay. Yeah, I think I am answers are coming. Scripting language, OOP, open source, yes, easy to understand. So that's all. What else? I'm not getting many answers for features. I told just three important features of Python here. So simple, right? So one is it's OOP, definitely less lines of code. Okay. And then maybe if you ask me, dynamically typed, multi-paradigm. Multi-paradigm means it supports both functional as well as object-oriented programming. So multi-paradigm. This is also I like this feature of Python. Okay. And then also one more thing is what is that? Dynamically typed is there. What else? Open source. Open source means you don't need to pay any money for this. This is important. It is again free of cost. Okay. There are many other features we can actually again keep talking about them, but I just took this as my choice of good features of Python. Okay. Now, and somebody's asking about this discussion. What is that? Python is a platform independent or dependent. Again, there are many questions coming from this. See, this is an interpreted language. What shall I say is this is another important thing topic about Python is what is that? Python is platform dependent. Why it is dependent or what is platform independent? It's so simple. I'm not going too deeper into this because I don't want to spend more time on this topic again. Independent or dependent. Platform independent means we can distribute the code of that language to different operating systems and we can run from anywhere. That is independent. Suppose if you talk about Java, let me quickly tell you. Java has something called bytecode or dot class actually, what we call. This bytecode, you might you might get it on Windows, but still you can run it on Linux or Unix or Shell or Linux or Unix or Solaris or many other programming languages. Sorry, many other operating systems. So this is independent. You are able to distribute bytecode of Java to all other different operating systems. So this is independent, what we call platform independent, means operating system independent. That's what the meaning of this. And dependent means C, like Python or C or C++, sorry, like Java or C or C++, Python don't have this kind of bytecode concept or dot obj concept. If it is C, C++, if you talk about C or C++, there is something called dot obj. Okay. And this dot obj, we can try to run. But this is not again distributed. We cannot, run dot obj of one programming, I mean, one operating system on another operating system. That's why CCPP are dependent languages, no doubt. But still, we have something called dot obj. But if it is Python, another important thing about Python is interpreted language. What shall I say? It's an interpreted language. What do you mean by interpreted language? I'll just show you. Let me just show you. If you see this simple code, okay. So when we, if it is a Java or if it is C or C++, it has to go to multiple stages. You write a source code. Suppose, let me just give you a quick idea. See, this is start point for anyone. If you don't know anything, this is the start actually. So you don't need to, if you just listen and understand it carefully, you get a clear picture. For this, even if you are a beginner, we don't need to think more about it. So now the question is, this is actually your Python code. Okay. But before that, how it goes? Actually, if it is Java will go in multiple stages. You write source code. This is the first stage. What the program you write, dot Java program you write. And then you compile it. When you compile it, what happens? You get bytecode or what we call dot class. This is second stage. Just think it as. Again, you have to execute it. And third stage is execution. Okay, then you get the output. This is the last stage. So if you see altogether, how many stages we are seeing for a simple Java program is so okay. It has to undergo all these stages. A store source code, that is the your which you develop, and then you compile it and you get the second stage is this is stage one and this is stage two. Okay, anyone who is new or who is beginner, you can easily follow this now. And third stage, again, you have to run this, execute it. But compiling is not going to help. So, we cannot stop with compiling. Again, we need to execute it. And finally, the fourth stage is the output. We have these many stages. Even same thing is applicable for C or C++. Of course, these two are platform dependent, and but Java is independent. Okay, and now coming to the Python, let's talk about our mighty Python. What I'm saying it as a mighty Python. So this is an interpreted language. What happens here? You just write a code and you run it. Let's run it, and you directly get output. Here, see, we have just two stages in Python. So when you talk about Python, what are the stages? What we have in Python is one is your source code, what you write. Maybe we can call it as .py, simply speak, or pyc. Okay, and then when you execute it, you get output. That's all. You directly execute it. When you execute, you get output. This whatever I am discussing now is very useful for you. Just listen carefully. That's all. I believe there is no difficulty in my explanation to understand my explanation. So here, what happens here? If you see comparatively, how many stages are there here in Python? Just three stages. And if you observe the stages in Java and stages in Python, what is missing here? Means maybe I can say this. Let me do one thing. Let me be more clear for you. Compile and execute. So what is that? In Python, you have a source and then compile and execute, and then you will get output at the end. That's fine. Are you following, team friends? So now, how many stages are there in Python? We have just three stages. If it is Java, we have four stages. And what is happening in Java? There is a separate compilation phase and execution phase. What is happening in Python? Compilation and execution go hand in hand. These will happen parallel. Okay, I'll show you that with a practical example. Okay, so that's the difference between Java and Python. Understood, team? Then again, another question. These are all very important basics to learn with Python, because if you don't know Python and if you want to start with Python, then these are all important things to understand. Got it, right? Now, again, coming to this, you can ask me question here. Do you have questions now? Yes, you should ask me questions. What are those questions here?
Manohar?
Yeah.
Yeah, in Java, after compile the code, we are executing. So, because compiling means it will check the syntax and everything.
Exactly.
So,
So
but here it is compiling. It is before executing, it is compiling here, right? In Python also.
I'll just give you explanation, step by step.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, let's again. I'm muting so that it would be, yeah. Thank you for muting yourself. So now let's understand this difference, because these are all very important. You might think this is boring or something, but this is important for you only. Now the question is simple. How Python works is you write some. Let's take a simple scenario. You don't need to understand anything. Suppose I'm writing some print statements. Print hi. Okay, this is one. Second thing, print hello. Third thing, I'm just using few prints just to give you some clarity here. What happens with Python? See, this compilation execution happens line by line in Python. So something like this. Let's take three scenarios and let's run this. How this execution flow happens is it's go line by line. Okay. Suppose I have error at third line. See, I am missing this. What I'm missing here, quote here. Now let me try to run this, whether it works or not. Yeah. Mm. Let me run. Me take some example so that it's more clear for all of you. So what happens? Otherwise, I'll do one thing. I'll just come up with a small code snippet to give you a good picture about about this execution flow of Python. I'll just come up with a program tomorrow. I don't want to waste time. But see here, when you talk about Python, it gets executed line by line. It doesn't go execute entire program at a time. If it is Java, it compiles the whole program at a time and then it executes whole program. That is actually happens with platform independent languages. But in Python, when you write some thousand lines of code, it compiles that code and execute it parallelly. Compiles and executes. And suppose if any issue is there at line 3, it will compile and execute till these two lines and then it will stop here at line 3. So I'll take that example for you so that you understand it clearly in tomorrow's session. Okay. I'll just show you while running this. So here what happens with Python is two things happens simultaneously. One, Python compile each line. So what it does is it compiles each line of code, okay, and then execute it and execute that code. So this happens not only in Python, in many scripting languages. So any kind of scripting languages, this kind of execution flow go hand in hand. So it compile each line, sorry, not code, each line, and then execute it. So that's how it happens. So that's why when you talk about interpreted languages, they say this statement. In case of interpreted languages, execution happens line by line. What do you mean by execution happens line by line here? If you see here, this one, it compiles each line and executes that immediately. So if any syntax error is there, it will throw that immediately. So that's how it goes. Got it, right? So this is a simple idea about interpreted language. Okay. So what happens in interpreted is point one, executes line by line. Point two, in this case, what happens is it compiles each line and execute it immediately. So like this it goes. I mean, I'll come up with a good use case program tomorrow. Just show you. Suppose if you have error at line 3, then it stops at line 3 only. Like the remaining two lines gets executed. I'll just come up with that example tomorrow. Because now if I just do R&D here, your time will be wasted. So I don't want to do that. But you got some idea here, right? Right. Now, so that's about all this, friends. Next one. Got some idea now? You have seen program of Java now, and then you have seen program of Python, and then now let's see the other, and let's move to the next one. Modes of Python here. Are you following, friends? Let me just so Python modes again. Let's talk about this here. What Python modes we have here? We have interactive as well as I think there is a typo there. Just I'll just change that, and a batch mode. So what is interactive? What is batch mode? Again, so these are all simple. Interactive means simple, friends. Actually, suppose again you see this again. So you don't need to open your command prompt. Open your Python. This is opening from shell actually, from command prompt. So this is called interactive mode. So when you execute your Python program from a console, so that's what we call interactive mode actually. Suppose you see here now how simple Python is: a equal to 10 and b equal to 5, a plus b. And sorry, I think that plus didn't come. If you see now here, we just did a sum of two numbers program. What did we do, friends? We just did a sum of two numbers, and you can see many things here. See, if you just give throw a big torchlight on this, okay, throw your attention on this, you like Python because of these things actually. Why? There is no data type. You are just using as is, like, which way where you learn some fifth class mathematics. You just added that one variable a, b, and then you just told a plus b. Then what is that? You got the output here, right? And here, this is called interactive mode. Actually, Python has two types of modes when we talk about this. Program writing modes, interactive and okay. The second, another one is batch mode. Batch mode means this is console mode, writing your code in this kind. But if you ask me a question, which one we will use in when you are using in development or automation or anywhere, we don't depend more on this interactive mode. Again, an important disclaimer: this is not that much used in your development or automation. Why this is not used? Because suppose you close and open this again. Let me close. Now let me open this. Okay. Now if you don't know about all this, how you are able to open this, we don't know. Means I will get back to you all these days again. I told you, right? I'll make sure that I will onboard you with all these things. Okay, so enter. Now, if you see here, you should observe something, friends, here. What is that? Again, I just closed it and opened. Some few minutes back, there is some code in this console. But do you see that code now? Can you just answer in the chat box? Can you see that code which we had just written few minutes back? Yes, right? Some yes or no? Please answer. Otherwise, you feel session very boring. If you keep answering, then you do feel little interesting. Okay. Can you see that? You don't see any code, right? That itself is an answer now. Yes, correct. That's true only. So the disadvantage with interactive mode is it cannot have history. One thing. Suppose when you write a code and if you close it and open it again, you lose all that which you have in the previous session. And this is a new session. Somebody is saying you open news. Yes, that's true, Shankar. And okay, that's correct. And you lose all that. What you have that. So this is very difficult to manage in a real time environment. You cannot just lose a code which you just wrote few minutes back. Okay. So that's why in real time this is not recommended, but this is recommended just in learning, just to do learning and to do quick testing when you are learning all your different concepts. That's all. Correct. Got it right? This is interactive. I hope you got clarity about interactive. ST, what is that interactive here? So when you talk about modes here, we have two types of modes. One is interactive mode. The second one is a batch mode. About interactive, just now we had discussed, we just use a console to write our code. And here the very good thing about console is very easy to use. Easy to use, but bad thing about is it cannot have any history. It once you open and close, you lose everything that is there which you wrote. So all is lost. Okay, when it is lost, when you close it, when the console is closed. So, and this is just used only for basic testing when you are learning. That's all. A real time environment doesn't support, doesn't, we don't use this in a real time environment. This is not at all encouraged actually. Okay. That is one thing. Next one, batch. Again, batch mode. Batch mode means a simple team. This is the one. I'm just giving you everything with proper practical scenarios only. This is batch. I saved this program as test.py if you see here. And here I can write 3 lines or 100 lines or 1,000 lines or 10,000 lines. And I can execute all this in one go. If you see here, I am able to execute all this in one go. This is batch mode. So our script mode, what we can call it as a. So what is a teamer? This is called batch mode means writing multiple statements in one under one program is batch mode. Okay, or as a script, adding multiple programs. I'm just writing here because so that you can clearly understand multiple statements. Let's call it as statements in one program and saving it as a one file and saving. What do we do? We save it as one file and run as one file. That is called script mode. So that is second one here. You see here script or batch mode. Got it, friends? So this is about different modes what we have in Python. Is it clear now? So which one we prefer when you are working in a development environment in a real time? Can we do we use interactive or do we use batch or script mode? Answers, please. Excuse me. Batch mode, yes. Which one do you think we use in a real environment? Is batch mode. Correct. So we prefer batch mode in a real time environment. It's not interactive or console mode. Understood, team? So that's about this one again. About the modes. Now, what shall we do now? After this, we have to go for Python installation. Uh, we do this by what we do is because this is the today beginning session today. We'll continue tomorrow because maybe if anyone newcomers joins, so it would be helpful for them. Again to recap quickly. So what we do is we will stop here today. It's not like I will just stop with 1 hour. It goes till 8 to 10, no issues. But as it is the first day, first session, I'm stopping here. But don't quickly exit. Okay, I just ask conclude this and ask few questions and then we can skip from here. Okay.